Hey guys, this is Daniel.
And Matthew, and you're checking out episode 3 of our Halo television series discussion videos. We
So
just
we just got
finished. Yep, go
like
ahead.
we just got done watching episode three. We're gonna do a brief recap and then go over our thoughts. So where did it start? I don't even fucking remember.
I got it. I got some notes. You,
Okay.
you can chime in if I miss something. But yeah, so
Okay.
it shows a planet, like a trash planet, and there's like some guards telling people to get back to work and whatnot. And this kid gets beat to death for trying to kiss a girl or because he's useless or something. It finds out you come to find out that the girl he was trying to kiss actually is the blonde arbiter that we mentioned, that we decided to call. Um, Basically, the Covenant comes down to that planet or wherever the hell it was, and they're looking for something, and it turns out what they're looking for happens to be her. They have this like sort of like a metal detector, but I guess for organic
For
material.
chosen ones, I don't
Yeah,
know.
for
Because they were
blessed
looking for a
ones.
relic at
Yeah.
first or something, and they realized it was her.
hmm They thought it was behind her, and then the guy, I guess one of the elites is smarter than the other one. He's like, no, it's her. Like so,
You dumb bitch.
so they abduct her. Yeah, and then we get uh Miranda's looking at the artifact in like the war room, and then they said something about it's like 100,000 years old, which is supposedly predating the humans and the Covenants. So I don't know if that's like you know foreshadowing
Forerunner.
the Forerunners. Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna get at, but there's they're starting to tie in a bunch of different pieces of Halo lore and story here and there. So I thought that was good. Then we cut to Halsey meeting the clone version of herself, and they have a conversation about the original Spartan program. And she actually asks what happened to the children. The clone does, and Halsey says that 35 of them survived, and then the clone's like, well, that means over half of them died, which is crazy, but yeah. And then basically they have a discussion about ethics and humanity type deal. Like, if you ever were in this situation with the clone, would you be able to do it? Yada yada. They end up using the clone's brain in order to create Cortana. And in the background, there's another armor set. Did we ever decide what armor set we thought that was? Maybe Mark
No, I
Six.
don't even know if it's relevant, to be
I know,
honest.
but it's just a nice little something in the background. Um, the creepiest hell assistant, I think that his name is Aiden. He actually tries to make out with the clone Halsey for like a split second before he gets interrupted. That was really creepy actually. Um, the clone's brain gets uploaded to the chip. Chip gets inserted into Master Chief, and ta-da! We have Cortana, and she's voiced by Jen Taylor from the games, which we already knew from the trailers, but
Yeah.
still, it's pretty awesome. They actually went ahead and made her blue, which I thought was good because the original trailer she looked way too like human-y, like and
She was human colored. She's not
well
going to
her
become blue until the next season.
you have to buy the DLC.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, her face used to be more fleshy, and then they kind of like put a blue hue over it. Like it's still flesh-ish, but yeah, they definitely blew her eyes. She blew herself like Arrested Development.
So biased. Yeah.
Go buy us some coffee.
Yeah.
Uh, you find out Quan wants to go back to Magical. Soren Chappelle gives his cock to other people. They get a shipment of chickens from Earth, and he gives them to people. Chief hates Cortana, but she actually is like proud to meet him and all this stuff. And then we end up cutting to the blonde arbiter basically preparing to infiltrate a human UNSC ship, and it kind of does like a cutaway scene. We both thought it was a hunter because
It,
it's kind of
it was the worms that create hunters. A hunter is a bunch of worms. I think they're called Lagoli that come together and form one entity. Like they have the ability to, I guess, sync their thoughts and stuff. So they just put a bunch of worms in armor. That's a hunter.
yeah. So I mean, it zoomed back, and like I said, we both instantly thought hunter, and obviously you know more about it than I do, so that's good because that ties into the next part of it where it's like, uh, we thought as a hunter, and then we cut to John touching the artifact, seeing more memories, so that Halsey can research it and stuff, and then Cortana gives him sass, uh, and then we get back to where the blonde arbiter is getting searched on the UNSC ship, and then she summons those worms, snakes, Legoli, or whatever, like you said, and they attack everyone on board the UNSC ship. She takes over. Turns out she's looking for the demon and where he put the artifact. And you brought up a good point while we were watching it. Like, when does he become the demon to them? Like, it's not explained.
Yeah, so like, okay, well, I'll talk about that later. Yeah, let's go through the recap first.
All right, all right, all right. Then we've got I make sure to bring a note of this, but yeah, she kills the guy on the ship with like an energy
Yeah.
nail. Like she summons basically like a miniature energy sword from her fingernail and just fucking kills this guy. It's kind of cool but fucking weird at the same time. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Then we go to Master Chief returning to Silver Team, basically assuring them that he's okay, but he tries to walk away and Cortana just like shows up and introduces herself to the team, and he's like, "What? I didn't summon you," and she gets all offended, like, "Nobody summoned me. What? AI off."
Right. Clap.
It was kind of a funny moment actually. But then he separates himself from the rest of the Silver Team. But one of them like suspects something's wrong after they meet Cortana. I think it's Kat or something. I don't
I don't
remember.
remember their names, to be honest. Silver
Yeah,
Team's
the
names.
the blonde Silver Team member, not the one with the freckles, and not the
Yeah.
black dude, the blonde chick. She basically kind of like wants to follow him type deal. Chief goes off on his own. He's trying to like search the internet or whatever it's called in the future for something. Cortana interrupts. She basically is like, "I can help find what you're looking for," and they narrow it down to a planet. And then the Chief mentions something about Nora 098 being. I think how did he phrase it? They lost her. Basically, she died, and he's like, "Yeah, she died, but I don't feel anything." Um, Then and actually I looked into that. Turns out it's from the comics, but Nora from the comics was actually an AI. So that's a bit of them rewriting like the lore canon as they've already
Been
been
doing.
been doing.
Right.
Yeah. Then we get a scene of naked Master Chief ass uh in the bathroom as he's removing his like pellet, is what they're calling it. It's the thing that supposedly like mutes his senses to like he can't taste food and all that in order to keep him battle ready. Um, Cortana is instructed by Halsey to assist him removing it, and so he does. Then Master Chief goes out to a concert.
Yeah.
I guess he's now that he's more human, he wants to see and hear and experience things. So he goes out to a concert. And then a dog triggers the whole like memory of him having a dog. So he goes back into I guess like the home base or whatever, and he tries to open this door and he can't. So he actually summons Cortana legitimately, like, "Hey, Cortana, open this door," which is probably the first time him actually like, okay, yeah, she could maybe be of use.
And she's like, I don't think that's a good idea, Chief.
He's like, "Open the fucking door, bitch," and she's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then Halsey's like, "Yeah, bitch, open the door." So Cortana opens the door. He goes into the artifacts and touches it again. Has more memories. He narrows the planet down that he was been trying to search for to Eridanus 2, which again I looked into, and it is from I don't know Halo lore. It's like a legitimate thing. Both Chief and Emil from I think it was Reach were from Eridanus
Yeah.
2. So you come to find out that Chief was living there, but then he got. They didn't say abducted. I think they said adopted, but essentially, he got taken from there, and
He's abducted.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he wants to know what happens to his parents. Like he asked Cortana, like, what happened? And then she, with the data that she has, she said there was a virus that shows up, and they basically, in order to prevent the virus from escaping, they had to like seal off the planet. And so, you and I were both like Flood, or like they
Yeah.
teasing the Flood already too. Like they're really putting a lot of different subplots in here, and it's uh starting to get vivid, I guess. It's trying to flesh out the world. So then we got Soren trying to take Quan back to Madrigal, and he's either gonna get paid by her for taking her back or for her, as in the bounty on her head. So that's the reason why he's doing it. The blonde arbiter leaves the UNSC ship that she infiltrated. Back on on Reach, Keys and Captain Keys and Miranda are talking about some comms that they intercepted, and Miranda actually mentions that grunts are chatty.
Grunts are chatty.
So we have our first mention of another covenant other than the ones that we've actually seen. So hopefully we'll get some live action grunts here in the next episode or something. And then the only other notes that I really took down was that the Indian supervisor person we were trying to think of last time, her name is Parangoski, which is why I didn't remember that. What the hell kind of name is Parangoski? And then Cortana at the end, like they decide that they're gonna head to Eridanus 2 to look for the artifacts, which I think I skipped over. But basically, John discovers there's a second artifact, and so they're going to Eridanus 2 to go look for it. And Halsey basically says that Cortana is in place to prevent Chief from learning the truth about
like his memories.
They abducted him or whatever. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much a recap. But I've been talking for a good while, so let's see what your thoughts are.
I'm still kind of disappointed there hasn't been like an actual battle since the first one. And it kind of feels like they just like that one was kind of a little forced in there. Now that I'm looking at the timeline thing, like this is like, oh, here come the Spartans, and like they're all badass, and now they're just talk a lot.
Yeah.
It was cool to see. I had to say, like the elites in their not the elites, the hunters in their like traditional hunter form. I thought that was a cool nod to like lore. I don't know why they didn't shoot the arbiter chick when they just like, it's an ambush, and all the worms start coming out, and she's just fucking standing there walking towards them, unarmed, unshielded. It's like, shoot the bitch. How many fucking of them are you? Like, there's tons of you. Like, shoot the bitch. It takes how many battle rifles? Like, dude, I could. Come on, that's fucking dumb. But they would have to end the thing. It's over. Anywho, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't. I feel more and more that they're just using the series because it sells. Like, I don't understand their audience, who they're trying to go after. Like, this show isn't good enough to bring people in, but it's diverging from what people like about Halo. This isn't Chief. Like, this isn't what anything was about. He was like leading missions and shit, not fucking like trying to find out who he was and all this stuff. He wasn't trying to go to music concerts. like I don't get it. And like the show's all right. I just don't understand like who it's for.
I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
I just like the development is. I guess we don't know enough. Go for it.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, it's still early. Like, we just finished episode 3. I understand they're like 45 minutes to an hour long or whatever. But it does kind of feel like they're trying to put a lot of things into each episode in terms of, like, I was talking about subplots and like, hey, mentioned something this, something of that, and so like, people that are fans, so okay, that's this, that's that. We're picking up on these things, but when they do something like that, it tends to take away from the parts that we want, like you said, the action sequences, and like the battles, and like all this time that because they mentioned it somewhere in the episode about how Chief was off the battlefield, while he's before he gets, the Cortana implants, or whatever, the Cortana program that they're calling it.
Yeah.
While he's out of commission, like, why couldn't we just like follow Silver Team on like a side mission where they go and, I don't know, just destroy some jackals on the planet or something, because then that would give us some action. That would also give us a chance to see the jackals and then maybe even the grunts. They just throw us a little bone here by mentioning, oh yeah, grunts are really chatty, but not on comm. Okay, well, like, show us the grunts talking to each other, like on a fucking planet. Have one of Silver Team sneak up behind them and break their neck, assassinate them. Like there's things they could do, but they're just not doing it.
Like this Queen Sonnen arc, and I know what they're doing right now. She's about to go home to Majorin. The elite bitch is about to go to Majorin. They're gonna meet, and like something's gonna happen. Chief's gonna be there, and maybe there'll be some conflict there. But like, that's what they're trying to do. But do you even care about her story arc?
Talking about Quinn? Well, her Quan.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah. See, you don't even care enough to know her name.
Do you even care about the story arc?
I mean, not particularly.
It's such a stereotypical, like, it's a trope. It's a trope. My dad was killed right in front of me, even though the dumbass ran into the elite, and now I gotta go avenge him. And like, they're trying to. I don't give a shit about her. That's just a waste of screen time.
I mean, they're definitely trying to cater to the, I guess a little bit more of than just males of 18 to 24, 18 to 49, whatever. They're trying to key in on, female demographics and whatnot, and they're using the whole like sympathy for this person. But I agree with you, like, I don't care. Like, it's like you said, it's a trope. It's something that they're just using as a means to an end, but they shouldn't have to. Like, there's so many different roads that they could go down, and they're, like I said before, they're just not doing it. They should be featuring. I feel like they should be featuring at least one action scene per episode, like somewhere in between all of this huge exposition and story and characters interacting and chatting with each other, and then she cut to some shit going down, and then that has some sort of effect. Like how, when Halsey originally was like, okay, we're gonna go to Aridus 2, we'll just send a probe, and Chief's like, no, I want to go. She could be like, yeah, okay, and then in the background, like, hey, go ahead and just send Silver Team to go look out ahead, and then it shows them arriving first, and like maybe they have to clear the LZ or something, and then Halsey and Chief show up, like, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's what episode 4 is gonna be, but I don't. It's weird because I had heard before I watched this episode that this episode was more action-y than the second one.
They're probably talking about the fucking worms.
I mean, yeah, I guess there's more action in the fact that, like you said, the worm hunters, some shit goes down. Yeah. A lot of people die, and she summons an energy blade from her fucking fingernail. But I mean, that just gives me more questions than any sort of answers or resolution. Like, why the fuck is she able to summon energy, like basically a miniature energy sword?
That's probably just equipment. It's probably just tech.
It could be just like a little attachment, yeah. But yeah, that's just fucking weird. Like, if they could do that, why doesn't the elites just have those all in their hands, like fucking claws, like fucking Freddy Krueger or something, like plasma Freddy Krueger? Like, why do they need to carry an actual fucking sword? I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, I love the energy sword, but I mean, look. They're just like, hey, but I mean, isn't there that one jackal, or I forgot the name of the other one, like the wild jackal, but the one that like kind of runs at you? It's got the little skirmishers, yeah.
Skirmishers, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, couldn't they have that shit? Like maybe one shield and one fucking hand with the. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent, but yeah, like, I mean, they're putting stuff in the episodes. Like, honestly, the whole Cortana thing was cool when she came out. She was blue. She was a lot bluer than the original trailer. But they're just, I don't feel like they're doing enough. It's, I guess, the takeaway for me.
I feel like they're, like I said, but when it comes to Master Chief and his story, which is what they're trying to, obviously he's the focus of the show. They're just destroying his character, and they're using this universe just to try to make some money, just the way they are with the cookbook. The encyclopedia is kind of cool. Oh, you don't know about that?
I don't know about the cookbook. No.
They're releasing a Halo cookbook. How does it even fucking make any sense? Where in Halo do they eat? Where do they do it? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't fucking get where this comes from. But anyway, that's a different story. Like, they're just trying to shit things out like the to the general public, but I don't think no one wants it. I don't think anyone wants it. If you look at it from a non-Halo standpoint, like you knew nothing about, you don't know who Master Chief is, you don't know anything about Cortana, you don't know anything about Halsey, you don't know anything about the series is all right. Nothing that you would subscribe to Paramount Plus for. Nothing that you'd probably even watch, to be honest. You'd watch a few episodes and be like, oh, I got better shit to watch. I'll go rewatch Arrested Development. I just, it's an average show.
Yeah, I mean, it's they still have a lot of work to do, and they still have their work cut out for them in terms of satiating us as fans and drawing more viewers and keeping, the initial like, hey, let me give this show a shot viewers, keeping them engaged and involved as well. He's still, I mean, naked Master Chief, god damn it, like why? It's like
taking off his helmet wasn't enough.
That's what I was gonna say. They're like, no, we're taking off his helmet isn't good enough. We want to see his ass. We have to see it.
Shoot me.
I'm most vulnerable in the dick. Oh shit! Like that's like they're trying to do like that's intergalactic ass, instead of the whole like America's ass for Captain America. Like, oh god, like
I guess they had to be gender neutral because we saw the Arbiter's ass before.
I mean, that's also true. Yeah. The show doesn't shy away from nudity, and I think Quan called Soren an asshole. I was like, holy shit, she called him an asshole. It's fucking great. But yeah, no, damn it, man. I'm trying to be like, because you're obviously more critical, or you've been more critical on it than me, like, because I don't know, I guess you're a bigger Halo fan than me, but it's just like I try to see the positives in what they're doing, and there is good stuff, but I just feel like there's not enough. And that's I think it's kind of like what they need to balance is trying to cater to us and then try to cater to the newbie.
This show is, to me, what is wrong with Halo right now. There's no vision for Halo in the game, anywhere. They're just trying to make it a universe, like a general, like they even said they want to reach more people. They want to make the general audience or whatever. There's no direction. They're just trying to grasp whatever the fuck they can get, and you can't do that. Well, I guess you could if you own the fucking series, but that's why no one likes it. Like we've had 20 years of this shit. It works. And we want what was then. We don't come to Halo because of what they're trying to do now. We want because of what it was. And there's a whole fucking lore for it. There's 20 years of lore. I just don't get, like, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel in such a shitty way, too? Like, if you want to differentiate for the canon, whatever, but this isn't what Halo is, and I see that being reflected all over. Like, with the game, with the fucking cookbook. And, I kind of don't give a shit about the cookbook in general. Like, the cookbook doesn't affect anyone. But it just shows the more of the direction that they're taking it. They made a fucking cookbook. Why would you make a Halo cookbook? Because you want fucking money. Do you even know any dishes in Halo? Have they ever talked about that shit?
The Moa burger. I was looking at
other than the Pringles Moa burger. That's it, right?
Yeah, I was like looking over at my shelf. Pringles Moa burger.
Yeah, like so exactly. They're just shitting out stuff to make money because it has Halo on it. And I think I just see the show as an embodiment of what is all that's wrong with Halo right now.
There was something you were gonna bring up earlier. Let me see if I can go through my notes and find it. Like I mentioned it, and you were like, "Oh, I'll talk about that in a minute." I think it was the demon part.
Oh yeah. So he became the demon in the games after he destroyed the ring and like pretty much disgraced the elite commander, who became the Arbiter. And now they call him the demon. as far as I know, all the Spartans. I know he's special apparently because they keep saying he's special, but he hasn't done anything special. All the Spartans kind of like just kick ass, although like on the one scene that we've seen. So as far as I know, they're all like kind of the same. But you know, they're just. I just don't understand. Like you know, they haven't built up to why he's the demon. I don't think they're ever going to build up to why he's the demon. He's just the fucking demon because he's the demon in the game and it's lazy. Like it's and nothing's really happened. Reach is still around, so they haven't glassed Reach if they're even going to glass Reach. So I don't know where the story's going, but they haven't done anything to show that he's like the badass that he is, and the Covenant knows who he is and why the Covenant know who he is. Other than the fact that they're like, oh, the Covenant and the humans are warring, and then like the Covenant just get their ass kicked whenever the Spartans show up. And it's just like he hasn't done anything to be exponential. Like, why isn't the blonde lady the witch? I don't know. Why don't they all have nicknames? Why is he special to everyone else in the Covenant's eyes?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, and I hope it gets answered. Honestly, and that's kind of what I've been getting at in terms of them trying to weave in a whole ass ton of subplots and lore and whatnot. So there's, like you said, we don't know where the story is going. They could go any sorts of ways. I mean, we have an overall arching idea. Like you said, Quan and Blonde Arbiter are going to meet up on Madrigal probably, and maybe the Blonde Arbiter kills Soren, and then that pisses off Chief, so he goes there. He finds out Soren's dead, and like, why he's supposed to be on this planet protecting Quan, but you let her get captured, and he died, so he wants to find out what's going on. But then he's also trying to find the artifact on Iridius 2 with Halsey, and maybe Silver Team gets left there, or maybe one of them dies. Like,
everyone gets captured, and then he has to fight them all alone, and he finds out the power of friendship is greater than any sort of augmentation he has.
Holy shit, dude! Friendship is magic.
Because now he can feel, and that's what it is. That's what it's all building up to.
Yeah. Oh,
fucking
shit.
Stupid.
We should obviously write for the Halo TV show.
They're probably watching us and be like, fuck, why didn't we think of that?
Season 2, there's still time. Oh, God. It's hilarious. If you are watching this and you want to give us a subtle shout out, you need to name a Spartan DAM code name or something.
Yeah.
Spartan Dam. Be awesome. Yeah, I mean, oh shit. This is a show that as of right now we only have a vague idea where it's gonna go, but
yeah, I have no idea. I never thought that like 3 episodes in he'd be removing his motion blocker. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Now the question is, Halsey actually, like I said, she instructed Cortana to help him or move it or whatever. Do you think that they're gonna, make him put it back in, or is this kind of like, like you said, they're putting Chief in touch with his human side, and so they're just gonna be like hands off because now he has Cortana, so he doesn't need that.
So I actually don't know about that, but because fuck, the story's all over the place. But I think it was just more Halsey being Halsey, where she's devious. She's letting Cortana aid him doing bad shit so that he eventually trusts her. So when he needs Cortana to manipulate him, she can.
Yeah,
I think that's as far as this plot was going. I doubt they even thought about that far.
Probably not. But we'll see. I mean, we're gonna keep watching and we're gonna keep talking about it. So,
Yep. So I've been Daniel.
All right, I've been Matthew.
Oh, that's something else to say.
I mean, I don't know. Just figured I would say, if you guys have any, comments, like if you guys think we're way off base or if you agree with us, let us know, and we'll talk about it in the next one. So,
yep. Now I've been Daniel. Well, I've still been Daniel, but
I've also been Matthew. I've remaining for this whole episode. I've not been someone else. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Yep. Laters.
Peace.